Hey, it's the Horror Man back with my review of Wild Eye Releasing's Doll Syndrome. I literally just finished watching Doll Syndrome, and all I can say is wow. That was 95 minutes I'm unlikely to forget anytime soon. Before I really get into the review, I'd like to thank Wild Eye Releasing for allowing me and some of my fellow YouTubers the opportunity to review some of their films. As always, I will leave the link for Wild Eye Releasing's YouTube channel in the description box below. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Doll Syndrome was the first release in the Wild Eye Raw and Extreme line, and it more than earns its spot. If you enjoy raw and extreme movies, then look no further. There is just not a lot I can say about the synopsis of this film without giving too much away, and I don't want to ruin the viewing experience for anyone. Because that's what this truly is, an experience. Doll Syndrome is a 2014 film, and it features no dialogue whatsoever. None. I mean, okay, sure. I guess there is some dialogue, but that's only if you can read lips. There is no actual audible dialogue. But don't let that prevent you from seeing it, because somehow, even without a single line of dialogue, it hooks you in. No pun intended. To keep the synopsis brief, Doll Syndrome is literally just the day-to-day life of an unnamed male lead. We witness his morning routine. He gets out of bed, eats breakfast, gets dressed, and, well, he does some other disturbing things that you'll just have to watch for yourself to see. We watch day in and day out as he continues his offensive actions. One of his daily hobbies includes stalking a young woman. His intention, we find, is to make her his own personal doll, to use however he pleases. Other pastimes include using a stapler, self-mutilation with a straight razor, and licking toilet seats. Among others, which I'll leave to your imagination. And he does it all with the coldest, blankest expression you'll probably ever see. As the tension builds and we see the male lead get closer and closer to his female obsession, another character enters the picture. The young woman's boyfriend. And just like that, the male lead finds himself with an obstacle. And still, that cold, dead expression does not leave his face. In fact, if anything, the boyfriend is simply a bonus in his plan. This is the point where I have to stop, because I've already said too much. Now, you're probably wondering, is Doll Syndrome really that offensive? Is Doll Syndrome truly sick and disturbing? Is Doll Syndrome really raw and extreme? The easy answer? Yes, it is. All of those things. I'm actually surprised this doesn't get mentioned in that conversation more, when people talk about the most disturbing films they've ever seen. Doll Syndrome, in my opinion, deserves the same reputation as a Serbian film. No, it doesn't have a baby scene like a Serbian film, and it doesn't have that shock ending either. But, to be honest, the effects in Doll Syndrome are so much better. The most graphic scenes in Doll Syndrome look very real. And that's more than I can say for certain scenes in a Serbian film. Doll Syndrome is grittier and even grosser in some aspects. And it is absolutely raw and extreme. The actor who played the male lead gave a seriously chilling performance. He was fantastic. He also shows more skin than Linnea Quigley ever did in the 80s, if you're into that sort of thing. I'm talking graphic nudity. Do not watch this with your parents. I mean, honestly, you may not even want to watch this with your spouse. This is one of those films you should probably watch alone, so no one realizes how twisted we really are as horror fans. But we are what we are. Being the extreme horror fan that I am, I was not offended by Doll Syndrome by any means. But I definitely would not be surprised to know that others were. Yet, I do have to say, amongst all of the potentially offensive visuals, there was a genuinely creepy scene involving a doll. I believe Doll Syndrome was filmed in Italy, which makes for a great location, especially if you don't live there yourself. It adds an extra element of hopelessness and lonesomeness, which really fits the theme of this movie. Lastly, I also have to mention the score. The music in Doll Syndrome serves as an additional character, especially with the absence of dialogue. It's haunting, and I loved it. As I mentioned earlier, this DVD right here was released by Wild Eye Releasing as part of their Raw and Extreme line, and it is number 1, as you can see on the spine. Bonus features include bloopers, a teaser, behind the scenes, time-lapse doll, and trailers. I'd like to once again thank Wild Eye Releasing for giving me the opportunity to review their films. And if you're a fan of extreme horror, sadistic torture scenes, and good gore, then Doll Syndrome is another film from Wild Eye Releasing I highly recommend. Don't forget to subscribe to Wild Eye Releasing. Their channel link will be in the description box below. So that's it for my review of Wild Eye Releasing's Doll Syndrome. I'll be back soon with some more Wild Eye reviews. Until then, please comment below, let me know if you've seen Doll Syndrome and what you think of it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.